What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Cowboy Drummer. Today, we're going to look at Neil Peart's drum kit. Neil Peart. My whole life growing up, it was Neil Peart. That's how I was told. That's how I learned about, brother. And then somewhere along the line, it changed to Peart. The Mandela effect kicked in, and then now if you say Peart, you're a fake drummer, brother. You get grilled and people get mad at you. It ain't that deep, my boy. I'm sorry. Neil Peart. Neil, rest in peace to the legend. We're gonna look at his drum kit and just talk about it and slap a number on it. Is it good? Where do I rate this drum kit? I've put it in an episode before where I rate famous people's drum kits. So I've talked about it before, but it was just like a minute take. We didn't really break it down and look at it like we're gonna do today. So that's what we're gonna do. I got a few different picks, and it does look wildly different from different angles, as any drum kit would. But this one especially, because we got a lot going on, and he does a lot of like iconic things, This is the Time Machine kit, brother. This is the DW drum kit, Sabian cymbals, and it's an absolute beast. So let's talk about it. First thing I'm going to point out here is the ride cymbal. I know this is labeled, right? And it looks a little annoying, but it's a good picture, and it's clear, and I can see everything. And I have another picture without the labels that we'll also compare. But this one here, brother, look at that ride cymbal, this number 7. That's in a perfect spot. It is, because that's one of the main, what's the main cymbal on a drum kit? Probably a ride, maybe a hi-hat, right? But a ride cymbal is very important. It's got to be playable. The bell has to be clear. If you got cymbals staggered all over the place, you got to make sure the ride is clear. That's why a lot of people will put it high, above everything, so they can ensure that they're playing that thing any which angle. It's an important thing to get down, and brother here has it down right in the spot. Whenever you got one up and one down, you put the ride where the 12 is. And that's what we're doing here, except we got 4 up and 3 down. And we got a sky floor tom in the back. We'll get there in a second. Look at the kick, snare, and hat. The pedals on the floor looking perfect, right? Bass drum pedal is straight. The other ones are angled a little bit. And it looks good, and it's ergonomical. You know what I mean? And then we got toms wrapping around the hi-hat. I don't love that. I would never do that, But that's what Neil was doing, and it was working for him. And then here it looks good because everything is close and in the pocket. It looks like one instrument. But brother, looking at that from a different angle, it looks way different. Like real quick, let me show you this picture. This is from the front. So if you're at the show, if you're front row at a Rush concert, this is what you're going to see. And you can see the toms. We're going down the line here, brother. It's the stairway to hell, right? They're just going down. And it looks cool. It definitely looks cool. Again, it's not my cup of tea, but it looks way different than this over top. You can't see the depth. We're just looking over top, which is my favorite way to look at a drum kit. Toms flanking all over the place around that hi-hat. And then look to the left, we have this floor tom, which looks like a 14, right? I want to say it's a 14. And then to the right, those are a couple 16s. And then I want to say that Sky Tom is an 18. Someone can correct me. My Neil Peart fans, my Rush fans that know everything about his drum kit, feel free to drop a comment and correct the sizes, but that's what I'm calling that. That left side floor tom above it with the double A, we have a coated, just a little tom, I think, and then a snare drum above that. That's interesting. We're flanking a snare drum all the way up there. And then to the right, we got 2 more toms, some coated. I don't know are those electric? I don't know. Again, someone drop a comment. I just see a couple little drums there, brother. It looks good, right? And then the China cymbal up there, right side up. We're chopping wood. All the cymbals they just look good. It's wrapping around like we're doing a half moon here, and especially on the right. He's got them all staggered and he's got them in the mix. I'm gonna show you this other picture real quick. It's the same setup, but it's just a different pick. It's not labeled, right? But it's a little grainy. But it's the same thing. Look, you can see what we're doing here. The left side is a little different. Brother has what is this, a glockenspiel? We got some more percussion stuff to the left. So it looks a little different. You can see that little coated tom is next to the floor tom now. And the snare drum is still up there flanked. But it's just a little bit over so we can fit in some of these wood blocks, Interesting stuff there. I don't know if Neil was like, if it's a different tour, or if he told his techs, brother, today set up a little different. I want you to flank my snare drum to hell to the left. Because it's the same kit, it's just a little bit different. But man, look how sick that looks. that Time Machine kit. Those two floor toms to the right, they do look like they're the same size. They're just different depths. So that's what he did there. They're both 16s. That's what I want to say. 16 by 14 and then a 16 by 16 perhaps. And then that left side floor tom's got to be a 14. And then, like I said, we got this Sky Tom, which is probably an 18, maybe a 20. Again, drop a comment. Cymbal spread looking absolutely sick. Those bright, shiny Sabians. All right, let me find this other picture. Those are the two main ones, but this one here, I mean, that's the most iconic Neil Peart photograph of all time. That's probably the most famous drum picture ever. I mean, everyone has seen this picture. We got the Time Machine cymbals, Time Machine drum kit. Looking absolutely sick. Look at the glockenspiel set up to the left. What is that thing? Is that an electronic keyboard? I don't know what it is, man. Like I said, I'm not a huge Rush fan. I don't do research. I apologize if you guys are watching this thinking I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I'm just talking drums, brother. I'm just looking at drums. He's got electronic drum kit behind him. You know, this is like the 80s and 90s, so the E-kits now are way better. But it's still interesting to think that back then they're doing that and sounding like some Toys R Us Johns. No, no, I'm just kidding. Maybe I'll learn from one of you in the comments. I think that's the only pics we got. I mean, when you look at this, I found this just, I mean, looking like atrocious. Perfect example of how the drum kit's going to look so much different depending on what angle you take the pic at. And from this angle, it's just, I mean, it looks like I'm in a pawn shop and there's just drums sitting in the back corner. You know? I mean, it's grainy, it's cut off. It is what it is. This pic of him playing live, man, that looks really cool. It does. It does. You can almost not even see brother back there. Damn, look at this one drum directly behind him next to the Sky Tom. Is that just like another random snare? The old Jonathan Moffat snare, brother. He's had so many different setups, dude. I'm sure he's had double bass setups too. I mean, he's had to have, right? This is my favorite picture of his kit that I found. Even though all these numbers and letters are on there, looking like shit, I can see everything and it's just sick, bro. What is this little thing next to the snare drum? I forgot to bring that up the first time we looked at this. I don't know how I missed that. What is this thing? Labeled BB? Looking like a little target? Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe it's a little electronic thing. I mean, it's like blue and red and yellow. It just looks weird. I've never seen anything like it. Maybe it's a cup holder. Now to slap a 1 through 10 number on this drum kit, guys, it's a 10. All right, surprise, surprise. Especially this photograph. Actually, only this photograph, brother. That's a 10. I love the ergonomics of it. I love the way it looks. I like how everything is positioned. I mean, it just looks like one big, beautiful instrument. Yeah, it's a 10. Please drop a comment. Let me know what you give this picture right here. What do you give that if you were to slap a number on it? Rest in peace to Neil Peart. Please drop a comment, guys, if you want me to look at some other people's drum kits, pull up multiple photos and break it down, you know? Yeah, I love doing this. I love looking at drums and talking about them. Anything drums. So yeah, drop a comment. I appreciate the support. Shout out to all the members. If you want to join the membership, you can support me, brother. I do giveaways for my members. There's some exclusive content. And if you want me to rate your drum kit, I'll move you up the list. So anyways, let me know what you guys want to see. I'll be back soon. Mic slap on the way out. Peace out. Rest in peace, Neil Peart.